The Batman Part 2 is in big trouble. Apparently, we won't get to see this movie until 2027. That's a 5-year gap since the first movie hit theaters. Now, we've heard the official reasons for this delay, but something about this explanation doesn't quite add up. Let's break it down.
Okay, good, cut.
Typically, superhero sequels don't take this long to produce. We've seen Marvel churn out follow-ups in 2 to 3 years. Even complex films like Avatar: The Way of Water took less time than what we're looking at for Batman's return. So what's really going on? The writer's strike definitely threw a wrench in the works. With Hollywood at a standstill still for months, script development for the Batman Part 2 hit a major roadblock. But here's the thing, the strike alone doesn't explain such a massive delay. We're talking years, not months. Now, let's shine the bat signal on Matt Reeves' writing process. Unlike some directors who delegate script duties, Reeves is known for his hands-on approach. He's not just directing, he's crafting the story from the ground up.
I just started reading comic books. I went back to 1939. I just basically did a deep dive in the comics, and anything connected, I just wrote down.
This level of involvement can lead to amazing results, but it also takes time. A lot of time. But wait, there's more lurking beneath the surface. Our sources deep within the industry have hinted at some serious script troubles. It seems the story for the Batman Part 2 isn't coming together as smoothly as everyone hoped. We're hearing whispers of multiple rewrites, conflicting visions, and a struggle to find the right balance between fan expectations and fresh storytelling. One insider, speaking on condition of anonymity, told us, "The script issues are real. Reeves is pushing for a complex, noir-style narrative, but the studio wants something more accessible. It's a tug-of-war war that's been going on for months." This revelation puts the whole delay in a new light. It's not just about scheduling or visual effects. The very foundation of the film and story is still being hammered out. And in the world of blockbuster filmmaking, a shaky script can spell disaster.
I just asked you how it's going with writing, and you said slow because you care so much.
It's wonderful, except for the speed of getting something done.
But what does all this mean for the movie? We'll eventually see.
What are you showing me? Come on! Open your eyes!
How will these behind-the-scenes struggles shape the plot and characters we've come to love? The answers to these questions could determine whether the Batman Part 2 soars like the Cape Crusader or crashes like the Batmobile on a bad day. While the script troubles are concerning, there's an even bigger question looming over Gotham City. Who will step out of the shadows to challenge Batman this time? The answer might surprise you, and it's causing major friction behind the scenes.
Gotham needs you to answer for the sins of your father.
Are you ready to unmask the controversy?
But unmasking is not enough.
Let's set the stage. The first movie introduced us to a gritty, realistic Gotham with villains like the Riddler and a brief tease of the Joker. But now rumors are swirling that Clayface might be the main bad guy in the Batman Part 2. And let me tell you, this choice is stirring up quite a debate among fans and insiders alike. Why all the fuss about Clayface? Well, he's not exactly your typical street-level criminal. In the comics, Clayface started as Basil Karlo, an actor who turned to murder when he was left out of a film remake. But over the years, he's become known for his shape-shifting ability, something that might seem a bit too fantastical for the grounded world Matt Reeves created in the first movie. But here's where it gets interesting. Some fans are theorizing that Clayface could work in this universe if they toned down his powers. Instead of full-on shape-shifting, fans have a theory that, what if he's just really good at disguises? Maybe he has some kind of skin condition that lets him change his appearance slightly. It's a clever way to keep the character's essence while fitting into the more realistic Gotham we've seen. But of course, Clayface isn't the only name being thrown around. Fans are buzzing about other potential villains too. Mr. Freeze is a popular choice. Then there's the Court of Owls, a secret society that could add a whole new layer of conspiracy to Gotham's underworld. Oh, but wait, there's more. Professor Pygie and Scarecrow are also in the mix.
Oh, it is. Look at that. Don't let me hurt you.
These twisted characters could fit right into the dark, chaotic Gotham we saw in the first film. And let's not forget about Hush, a villain with a personal connection to Bruce Wayne that could really shake things up. Here's where it gets really juicy. We've learned that the choice of villain is causing some serious disagreements between Matt Reeves and the studio. It's not just about picking a cool bad guy, it's about finding someone who can carry the weight of the story Reeves wants to tell while still fitting into this grounded version of Gotham. Think about it. The success of the first movie relied heavily on how realistically it portrayed characters like the Riddler.
Which one's you? You tell me.
Now, they're facing the challenge of adapting potentially more fantastical villains without breaking the world they've built. It's a tightrope walk, and the wrong move could send the whole project tumbling down. Speaking of tightrope walks, the visual effects for The Batman Part 2 are turning into a high-wire act of their own. Remember how the first film wowed us with its gritty realism? Well, the sequel's facing a whole new level of pressure. Can Gotham City handle more spectacle without losing its edge? The Batman set a seriously high bar for visual effects. It wasn't just about making things look cool. It was about creating a Gotham City that felt real, like you could reach out and touch the grimy streets. The film blended practical sets with subtle VFX to give us a world that was more David Fincher than typical superhero fare. It's this noir-inspired look that made the movie stand out. But here's where things get tricky. The studio's eyeing The Batman Part 2 as a chance to dial up the spectacle. They're probably thinking, hey, if we're spending all this money, let's give the audience something they've never seen before. But Matt Reeves, he's not so sure.
From real events, which were these wingsuiters, so that you could put the audience in this journey with Batman so that you could feel like, oh my God, I took that flight with him.
He's got this vision of a grounded, realistic Gotham, and he's not keen on turning it into a CGI playground. So now we've got a classic Hollywood showdown brewing. In one corner, we've got the studio pushing for jaw-dropping visuals that'll make audiences go, wow. In the other, we've got Reeves fighting to keep Gotham feeling like a place you could actually visit if you were brave enough.
Oh, it'd be really cool if we could figure out a way to take the wingsuit and make it part of his suit. I wanted the audience to feel like, oh, I could be Batman.
But here's the deal. Creating those high-quality superhero effects isn't cheap. It's like trying to fill the Batcave with gold bars. The Batman Part 2 is expected to be heavy on VFX, which means they're going to be pouring a ton of cash into making everything look perfect. And if they're really bringing in a character like Clayface, that's going to require some serious visual wizardry. This is where the budget comes in. We're hearing whispers that there are some tense negotiations going on between Reeves and the studio. They're trying to figure out how to make this movie look amazing without breaking the bank. It's a delicate balance. Spend too little and the effects might look cheap. Spend too much and the studio execs start sweating. That's part of why we're looking at a 2027 release date. They need time to get this right. The script has to be perfect before they can even think about starting production. And once they do start, they're going to need all the time they can get to make sure those visual effects are top-notch. Just when you thought The Batman Part 2 couldn't face any more challenges, a new twist emerges in the cinematic saga. It's not just about scripts and special effects anymore. Now, we're diving into the complex world of shared universes and standalone franchises. And let me tell you, this is where things get really interesting. James Gunn dropped a bombshell in January 2023 that's still sending shockwaves through the DC fandom. He confirmed that The Batman Part 2 is an Elseworlds property.
They first gave it to me, we saw a lot more Batman. So yeah, that's just a way to introduce that Batman is a part of this universe. He's an important part of this universe, and we're gonna do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world.
What does that mean? Well, it's like Pattinson's Batman is living in his own little Gotham bubble, separate from the main DC universe that Gunn is crafting. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, couldn't they just bring Pattinson's Batman into the larger DCU? It's a great question, and fans have been buzzing about it. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Pattinson's brooding Dark Knight teaming up with other DC heroes? But here's the kicker. Multiple sources, including James Gunn himself, have confirmed there are no plans to integrate this version of Batman into the broader DC universe. This decision has sparked a heated debate among fans. On one side, we've got those who are thrilled about the possibility of a crossover. They're dreaming of epic team-ups like Pattinson's Batman joining forces with David Cornsweat's Superman. But for now, those dreams are just that, dreams. There's no concrete development in that direction. On the other hand, we've got Matt Reeves, the mastermind behind The Batman. He's been vocal about wanting to keep his Batman universe separate. He's not just protective of his vision, he's building his own Gotham brick by cinematic brick. And merging it with a larger universe, that could lead to some serious creative clashes.
Matt was very, very clear saying he wanted to make this as a detective story, but right from the beginning.
But here's where it gets even more complicated. The ongoing delays in The Batman Part 2's production have fueled a wildfire of rumors. Some fans are worried that these delays might mean the studio's losing faith in the standalone approach. Are they second-guessing the decision to keep Pattinson's Batman in his own world? This debate isn't just about the Batman. It's part of a larger trend in superhero films. Franchises are constantly trying to balance individual storytelling with these massive, interconnected narratives. It's just like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while juggling not easy. And let's not forget about the fans. They're split right down the middle on this one. Some are diehard supporters of Reeves' unique vision. They argue that the Batman's gritty, grounded take on Gotham deserves its own space to grow. But others are yearning for a more cohesive DC narrative. They want to see how Pattinson's Batman would interact with other heroes and villains from across the DC multiverse. Fans have been wondering, how would Pattinson's darker, more realistic Batman fit in with the rest of the DC crowd? I mean, we're talking about a universe that includes superpowered aliens and mystical warriors, all dropping our gritty street-level Batman into that mix. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. All these questions and uncertainties are adding another layer of complexity to an already complicated production. It's not just about making a great Batman movie anymore. Now, they're grappling with the future of the entire franchise. Will the Batman series remain a standalone noir thriller, or will it eventually be pulled into the gravitational field of a larger DC universe? As we've seen, the Batman Part 2 is facing a Gotham-sized heap of challenges. From script troubles to VFX hurdles, it seems like the Caped Crusader can't catch a break. But here's something interesting, Warner Bros. And DC execs are still backing this project 100%. They're saying Matt Reeves is all in, committed to making a top-notch Batman film, even if it takes longer than we hoped. So, what does this mean for us, the fans? Well, it's a bit of a double-edged Batron. On one hand, we might be in for a long wait, but on the other, this could be a sign that they're not rushing things, potentially giving us a better movie in the end. Here's the million-dollar question: are you still pumped for the Batman Part 2? Or are all these issues making you nervous? Is the long wait worth it if it means a better film? Or would you rather see Batman swoop into theaters sooner? Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's been a year, guys, and I make the most detailed updates and cinema content on YouTube, so a sub would be appreciated.